Hello!
Hi,
Hello, hello, hello,
hi.
hello. Hey, welcome back, one and all, to the Hexagon TTRPG. I see the lovely Shy in chat asking for an explanation of benefit. Oh no, not of benefits, and benefits of threads. We'll do that off stream, but follow us on threads, the Hexagon TTRPG. I'm going to say it now. By the time you're watching this, we'll probably have one. Unless you're watching live. Don't go, please. How's everyone doing today? It's a lovely hot Thursday, and it is the last session of Sunfall.
Say it ain't so.
I will not go. Before we get started, though, we'll do a little recap. So last session, we picked up where we left off. The three, I don't want to call you guys heroes, but citizens of Sunfall. Well, maybe at the end of today, you'll be heroes. How about that?
All right.
You guys encountered the Reaper. It was an interesting exchange. It didn't go exactly how I had expected, but you did learn a little bit about it. You learned to try and keep yourselves within the light. You learned it had some sort of like clawed or like hooked attack that it could sink into you, and one of you was even dragged off towards the forest, which seems to be a theme of these monsters, as the next monster you encountered, which was P.I. Gore, trying to enter the home of the lamplighter of the town. He was suddenly taken over by this monster from within, and although he didn't know what was going on, his body started to move deeper into the forest as well. So you guys learned that these creatures are trying to push you into the unknown of the Sunfall forest. Luckily, both monsters were unable to accomplish their goals in that regard, and anyone who took some damage, I think that was you, Mervin, you got a nice little heal from a chew and a spit from our local witch,
Yep.
Monsieur Chiron.
Mhm.
Then recovering from your wounds, you saw P.I. Gore from afar trying to head, like I said, into the forest. Not quite sure who it was, but seeing that he was coming from the lamplighter's house, you decided to follow him. And upon reaching each other, he snapped back into it, and seeing that he had raised his lantern up in the air as if to drop it, he gently placed it by his side and caught up with the three of you before you decided to go inside the lamplighter's home, which seemingly had not much information on first glance. It seemed like a freshly cleaned house, like somebody was planning to get up and go for good and wanted to get rid of any traces left behind. But they didn't do quite a good job of hiding everything. As the flake of our group was able to discern, there was a little, perhaps not hidden compartment, but closed compartment that might dissuade someone without the strength to rip the drawer off its hinges. But luckily, your group contains such a supernatural being, and so you were able to rip the door off, reveal a book that ended up being a diary entry that has lasted over the last 100 years from this lamplighter, kind of piecing together that this event that you guys have been going through, this kind of eternal darkness, it seems, had happened 100 years ago on this same day. And this lamplighter was the only child to survive this event. And over the years, he slowly got overtaken by this madness and this kind of obsession of this mother figure. And wanting to please her, it seems, he had gathered a list of all the kids in the town. And with this knowledge in hand, he left on the day of darkness and proceeded perhaps straight towards the kids. You guys kind of missed him as he left his house, which would have been an interesting encounter. But due to some of the stuff that happened, you weren't able to catch him on his way out. And so you kind of piece this all together thanks to P.I. Gore, the gumshoe detective, and the Flake Mervyn. So luckily, with all this new knowledge in hand, you headed out together. One of you, Alexei, taking a little detour to pick up a regular weapon, a usual regular old weapon, nothing special about it, and headed off into the town square where you saw one house very well lit, not knowing who's inside, of course, as your characters, and a mob of people with torches and lanterns and other light sources, all marching off together as one group into the forest. And although not all our members are here, we will just get started slowly. And P.I. Gore should be joining us shortly. I will throw the focus now right to you, Alexei. I believe in your kind of like heightened form, you might be leading the pack just naturally with your enhanced speed and a little longer limbs as you had shown up a little taller than before.
Well, just a little bit taller.
Yeah, so your strides just take you that much further than the rest.
Okay.
And we'll say that like the house is within view. It's oh gosh, I'm terrible at measurements, but it's like a few paces away, especially for you. If you got on all fours, you can get there fairly quickly. But the mob of people is a bit further. That would be like a short sprint for you to get to them, as opposed to a few bounds.
But I'm still traveling with
But you're
Mervyn
still
and Ed. Yeah.
still
So noticing the mob, I think I'll turn and look at them and go, "Shit, they're already on the move."
I didn't think they'd go anywhere, honestly.
It seems they did not listen to your words.
Honestly, I don't even remember my words right now.
It was quite a while ago.
No, I just kind of, you know, when you talk and it just whatever the first thing that comes into your head, just kind of you spew out. I was like,
Yes.
just the top of my head.
Very well. I am going to try and stop them.
How?
I will put myself between them. And then I get on all fours. And I start rushing forward.
Did we just both notice the same exact thing just now?
Can you do that too? Like, is that just a thing people can do?
No, I can't do that. I mean, I'm fast, but not that fast.
Yeah, you just talk to animals.
Yeah, I'm very in tune with nature. That's
Right.
all I can tell you.
So the kids are back there, I assume, or do you think they'd bring them with the mob? Do kids make a good mob?
I sure hope not.
Because what if that's the whole plan, right? Like,
To give them to the mother?
infuriate the mob, have the parents leave, and then capture the kids.
It does sound very plausible. I guess we should go look for the kids.
But then
Or
what
maybe-
about him? He's gone alone.
Yeah, no, let's follow Alexei just in case something dangerous happens. I wouldn't want to lose my cooking friend.
Friend, eh?
Mm-hmm. He makes delicious food, actually. You should try it more often.
I've never been invited.
Well, I can't say I was invited. It just happened that. Actually, I shouldn't mention it. You'll probably notice when you go back to your house.
What?
Nothing. And I go after Alexei.
What? Hang on now. What do you mean? Hey.
Interesting. Mervyn, like, what does this interaction kind of do for you in like when you think about your history with Sheeran. Have you been like keeping an eye on Ed?
Well, thing is, like, keeping an eye on this, it's suspicious that, it's always been suspicion, and now, like, that suspicion's kind of like, okay, like, they might not be who they say they are, or, like, who they, like, present themselves to be, but they don't seem particularly, like, not dangerous, but, like, malevolent, or, like, malicious. It's just someone trying to hide from, well, who knows? So maybe if he continues talking to them, they'll figure out why and what they're hiding from.
Amazing. Anyone who is new, you're only catching the last part. Apologize in advance.
The first
But
two are up on YouTube.
yeah, YouTube and Twitch VODs. But Sheeran is wearing a mask that he never takes off. And although he poses as an old lady, and so maybe, most people here are convinced of that. Spend enough time with Ed, and I'm sure that the mask, quote unquote, begins to slip a little on that regard. But Mervin
Yeah, I
doesn't.
kind of
Go ahead.
accent with accent. I'm not gonna speak like a granny anymore. You guys know I'm not.
Do the granny voice.
Youngsters today.
I gotta say, I like the real voice more.
Thank you.
So we'll leave the group right now because there is one more member. So we'll give him an opportunity to maybe either follow you or go off on his own. But we'll push forward towards Alexei, who did go off on his own. On all fours, bounding towards the group. You're approaching this group of not exactly like you don't see that they're angry, but they are marching with purpose and that like anxiousness that maybe makes them a little dangerous, like a little twitchy. So why don't you go ahead and roll those 2d6 and we'll call it a read a bad situation.
Perfect. That's pretty bad for reading a bad situation. I got a 4.
Okay. Now, do you want to keep that?
Luck
Yeah.
or no luck?
Yeah. I'm like down on all fours, going animal mode.
Very true.
I'm like a moth, I see all the lights in the distance and I'm just rushing towards them.
Okay, so on a miss, you might misread the situation or reveal tactical details to your enemy. Okay. Interesting. What I'm going to ask you one of the questions, as that is something that I am allowed to do when you miss.
Okay.
And I will ask you, what's most vulnerable to you?
What's most vulnerable to me? Other than me?
Or like,
well, no, I mean, technically, Ed and Mervin are most vulnerable because I've just left them.
very true.
And I've sort of been the one like trying to defend them. So I'd say maybe it wasn't the smartest decision to leave them alone.
Yes. And maybe that thought like comes to your head as you're running. So like you might like look over your shoulder to make sure they're still there. And there's something out here that notices that catches on to that moment of, checking on the well-being of someone else before your own. But it doesn't transpire into anything. And you're fast as fuck, boy. You get like, where do you want to get? You want to get in front of the mob, in the middle, behind? Like, where are you aiming to run to?
I think I make my way like close to the front of the mob, but as I get closer, I'll get up on 2 feet and then I'll just sort of like normal person run in front of all of them. And I'll go, wait, what are you doing?
normal person run.
You see that like half the group kind of keeps marching forward. The half that's maybe furthest away from you, they just don't really hear you or pay attention. But few of the people stop and turn. Some of them turn and slow down. But your pal Chris is the one that will like kind of stop and turn purposely towards you. Oh yeah, what are you doing? We have to go. Come on. There's no time
Chris.
to really explain. Come on.
Chris, you cannot take these people out into the woods. You will all die.
No. We can take them on.
No, you cannot. I am sorry. Maybe you have some form of training, but these other people, they are normal people.
Well, they've got fire. That's all we need.
And if the fire goes out, which it will. Hey! And I'm going to like turn to the rest that are like walking past and I go, stop, damn it!
That's going to be a manipulate roll, please. You definitely caught their ear.
Charm.
Manipulate.
Yeah, nice. Okay, I got +2. Here we go. That is a 9.
Ooh.
7 to 9. Oh, okay.
Okay, on a 7 to 9, they'll do it, but only if you do something right now to show them that you mean it. So I think most of them will stop, but those that do, they kind of turn that like attention that they had on whatever was ahead directly on you. And they're like, "Look, what's wrong? What do you mean we have to stop? What do you know that we don't?"
Okay. I go, there are monsters in these woods.
Yes, but we're gonna go kill them.
Have you ever killed a monster before?
No.
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 No, have you ever seen a monster before? And I'm not talking about your dreams and nightmares. I mean in the flesh.
You see, like some of the torches, like instead of like being held up high, they're kind of like dropping lower. We have to protect the rest of the village. We have to do this. If we don't do it, then they're going to attack us. We can't just stay holed up in our homes. We have to do something.
Who's saying this?
It's just like
random.
It's one of the women in the group.
Incorporeal voice in the middle of the mob.
She's got a torch or something, or like a pitchfork. Like, what does she have?
She's got a spade and a torch.
Spade?
Yeah.
I grab her arm with the spade, and I like force her to stab me in my side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she like lets go, like instantly, like drops the torch too.
And I look at her. I pull the spade out, throw it to the side, and I go, "You cannot even kill a man, and you expect to be able to kill monsters."
Everyone goes silent. Is there like blood dripping from?
There is. I'm wearing a shirt, right? So like,
Mhm.
there's blood, and it stains the shirt.
Okay,
But, like,
yeah.
underneath, I imagine it's already like probably starting to heal because this. I mean, it's just like it's like a stab. How much?
Silver spade.
No!
Who has a silver spade?
It was handed down by my grandmother. Jesus.
Yeah, so like
this.
some people are on this side that got stabbed. They're like looking directly at it, and they're seeing that like there's basically no blood that's coming up through the clothes, and most of them stop. You kind of have like their full attention at the moment. Chris is like shocked and a little like stunned. But you do notice that like now like everyone is kind of stopped and their eyes are on you. That the old man Grayson Fielding is in this group. He's at the front. He's like one of the only faces that's not facing towards you. So he kind of sticks out in that way.
Oh. I think I look at him, and then I quickly turn to to Chris, and I go, "Take these people back before you get them killed." And Mr. Grayson, is that you?
And he turns. You see his old scarred face with wispy gray and gray and white, honestly, hair.
Mhm.
Some of it's like bright white, some of it's darker gray. He's hunched over. He doesn't seem very menacing at all. He's kind of floating in his overcoat, kind of in the same way as P.I. Gore, where it's like too big for him.
Yeah, he knows the style.
And he's got this tattered pants and loafers.
Hmm.
And he puts his lantern up, and the expression on his face might be surprising because it's just kind of wide-eyed. No, not menacing, not surprised necessarily, just doe-eyed, looking at you. Yes? What? I
You're coming with me.
no, we
I grab his arm, start tugging him along.
and Chris will grab your other arm. Hold on. Nothing's making sense here. Everyone, stay here. Don't move an inch. We need to discuss something. Keep your lights around. Anyone's light goes out, replace it right away. Come on, you two. Come on. He's gonna try and push you to the side, as you're still holding on to Grayson.
Yeah, I'm holding on tight.
He finally come to his senses. I think he knows something about all this. And he's
Of
saying
course
that,
he knows something.
yeah, and she's trying to help us.
Is this true, Mr. Grayson?
He's got his lamp up still. Yes, I'm sorry I didn't say anything sooner. There's something about everything that's happening. I feel as though I'm in the middle of it. But I know there's someone in the forest that is waiting to strike it. We have to strike them first before they bring harm to the young.
Where are the young?
They are back in the school. They are safe.
And who is protecting them?
Their teachers are protecting them.
What? Like 4 or 5 teachers?
But 2.
2? And you bring the whole town? You could not leave anyone else with the children.
The danger's in there. The danger's not in the town yet.
Yet. A danger which you cannot see. All right. First of all, Mr. Grayson, you will speak to a friend of mine. Do you understand? And Chris, take these people back, goddammit.
This is going to be another manipulate roll. He does not want to
Okay.
bring them back.
Just little fuck. Don't make
I
me
like
lose my
that
luck.
Zigor. Bah!
I got it. Okay. Well, that's 7. That's the same result then.
7. Yes.
It's still a kind of a success.
Kind of say, okay, you know what? Yeah, well, I could roll with that.
You're gonna roll with it. Okay.
I'll roll with it.
So he looks at you and he pulls you close, and he says, "I've been protecting this city for longer than you've even been here. We need every man. Sometimes you got to take the untrained, and you need to have them do what needs to be done. And there's not a moment to think about it. You just have to act. If you're asking me, I think this is one of those moments. Every man and woman that we leave back there, cowering at home, is another man or woman that could be out here, helping us fight."
Chris, listen to me. I thought the exact same way as you do. But when it comes to monsters, beasts, true evil, your mob will do nothing against it. It will slaughter them all. Your action will mean nothing. Let me take care of this.
Do you do something in this moment to show him that you're have definitely encountered something this dangerous. And you're not just like talking out of your ass.
To show him, I think I just look at him and I go, "You have to trust me." I don't show him anything, not right now, unless he asks me to do something. But
I think he,
he's just waiting, and then
yeah, he's
I
like
try to
he's,
plead with him. Yeah.
he waits for you to like stop talking, and you see he like waits for a moment longer, but then he says, "These monsters have always been at tail until now. I understand your apprehension, but I can't rely on tactics of something that I don't know, so I have to rely on what I do know."
Ah, you fool! I grab his collar. And how old is Chris?
Chris would be like, oh god, how old do people live back here? Actually, before I say anything.
You're good for like 60.
Okay, yeah. So
The
he's
ripe
like,
old age of 40.
Yeah.
40 is a nice,
He's like, oh shit.
experienced, but not quite at his
Okay,
deathbed yet.
Okay.
He's
Yeah, I grab him
close.
by the collar and I just want to like throw him like several feet into the air, like over my shoulder, basically.
Okay. Honestly, I don't
Like
think that's a
suplex
roll.
him?
Kicks his ass.
Bench
Based on
presses him.
your, oh my god, just like suplex down to the floor over your head.
You're
No, I want him to fucking float
no.
in the air, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
Wait, baby.
you just like transformed a little bit back there.
Yeah.
It became a little stronger and stuff, so you don't even have to roll for that. But now you see the crowd, like they back up from you in like in fear, and they all have torches, and some of them have more than just a spade.
They got pitchforks.
They've got pitchforks. They've got like they've got some swords from, you assume, Chris's stash of weapons. You do see the gleam of silver somewhere in the crowd.
The
I
silver
look
knight.
at them and I kind of like snarl a little bit, and then I like kind of stomp my way over to Chris and like pick him back up off his feet.
What's going on? What?
And then I push him towards the crowd and I go, "Take them back, or you'll face another monster this night."
In all my years of serving the military, protecting these people, I've never been so disrespected. He goes to point at you, and then you hear again that from the forest, that like tree just being like shredded by like something that considers it absolutely nothing to do. Just
Oh, damn.
and everybody turns to look, and we turn to look over at. I'll throw it right to you, PI Gore. So what did you miss exactly? Sheeran wants to head off straight towards Alexi. I mean, at this point, it's kind of like we're rewinding a little bit, because Alexi sped off. Ed or Sheeran wants to follow him. Mervin is just following behind, a little shook by a conversation that they had, and you are right there. You do know that there's like, I mean, there's a few houses that have like one candle on inside or something, but there is one that very well lit house from the inside. That's a little bit a ways, but then everyone is trying to follow Alexi, who is trying to follow the mob, which is kind of a lot further away, but still, a runnable distance.
Honestly, I think before I meet up, I think I would try and like sneak away to head back home to see if I got any messages first, and also to get my revolver and to top up my flask because it's getting kind of light.
Okay. I will say, like, canonically, you live far from here.
I thought I lived close.
Um,
I thought, or my office rather.
You like
It
where
wasn't
you
in the
came
town?
from. No, it was closer to the lamplighter's house, which was on like the other end of town. And this is
Mm.
closer to, well, it's still like the middle, but you know, like you're going from the middle to the end, which is pretty much as far as you can go from the midpoint of the town. So it's not like you're gonna miss everything, but it's a
Yeah,
decision.
no, I'd say I would head home first. I would head
Okay.
home. I'd feel a little amiss without my revolver and a drink. They go hand in hand.
Okay, wonderful. You don't alert the group. You turn and head off. You're in the dark and you have a light, so it's not like they won't know pretty quickly as they see your lantern bobbing as you're running. Maybe you're like recording your voice as you run.
Yeah, note to self. We need to keep the villagers safe.
And so you turn your back on the villagers to keep them safe and run back home.
Can't do much without my gun. It's in the memo too.
So you'll run off. You'll run. You'll be able to get your stuff.
Can I like
For sure.
maybe like roll to act under pressure to kind of like hurry and grab my stuff quickly?
Ooh, okay. You're gonna be putting yourself at like, you know, maybe you drop something, maybe you fall onto something, maybe you run into danger, which you would have been able to see before you ran into it. So like I'll tell you that just in case you fail, or you don't have to roll. I'm giving you the choice.
But if I succeed, I could do
But
it
if you
a little
succeed, it'll be pretty good.
faster.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Yeah. This is a game of chance, baby. And bad decisions. Act under pressure, my worst stat.
Yes, sir.
Oh, actually, I don't have my sheet. Give me 1 second.
No problem.
Actually, it's a 0, so I can roll now.
Oh.
Wow. That's a 7.
All right. I give you a moment to use your luck point if you want to, but if not, we will.
I don't think my luck is as good. It kind of just makes the mystery about me.
Yes. I mean more for like the 12, so you can fully succeed.
Oh yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. Give me that luck,
Yeah.
baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to keep reminding you guys because you like after today, they're gone pretty much. the luck
Use them
point.
all.
So yeah, I don't want you to feel like I should have used it.
Smart. Thank you.
but,
What
you
a
know.
gracious God.
No pressure.
1 second. I'm just gonna get my sheet.
Yeah. When you spend a point of luck, oh no, that's the pararomantic. I have to throw that away. Let's see. The gumshoe. When you use a point of luck, your next regular case will actually be a mystery for your hunter group. Not a regular case at all, and the monster will focus its attention on you. Okay. So when Shadim returns, I think he's not returned yet. When Shadim returns, we're going to get him to tell us what case he's been working on last. And we'll see if we can't tie it with what's going on now. I will just temporarily tell Mervin and Sheeran that you are like seeing everything that's going on with Alexi. Not necessarily close enough to stop it.
Mm-hmm.
We can like hear him.
Yeah, you hear like the yelling and the mob kind of like turning its direction on him, and then him going to the side with these 3 figures and then throwing one of them over his shoulder.
Look how strong Alexi is.
I am just very impressed with how intimidating he seems to the mob. But also he's so caring about the children.
You can hear him that well. All I hear is just innate shouting.
Well, let's just say I can imagine.
You're imagining Alexi.
No, then I know him well enough now that I can assume what he's probably saying, I think.
I see.
When you don't talk to a lot of people, I guess you memorize the ones you do a lot more.
I see. Pi Gore's back. Pi Gore. We're gonna like, you know, I don't think the gumshoe special like makes much sense the way it's written, but I'm gonna ask you what's the case that you were kind of actively or passively working on before today? Because you've always got something brewing, I'm sure.
I think one of the brothers, I'm not sure which one
Mhm.
yet, would have sent me here because he was hearing kind of like whispers of something like left over from father,
Okay.
from way back, and so he wanted me kind of to stick around and see what I could hear from the people. And I guess liked it too much. They got good booze here.
So you are running towards your house, maybe
Mhm.
taking some swigs in between steps, and you kind of like you see like a little too late because you know it's not super well lit here. You only have your own lantern to see where you're going. A little too late, you notice that there's like a bush right in your path, and so you kind of just like hop over it and through it, and you kick out the bush, and like a bunch of the leaves and like bristles kind of go up in the air, and you smell this scent that triggers a memory, as scents do.
Uh,
Um, it's a smell that you recognize from, I think we called it the Gore Emporium or the Ingorium. Like where the gores are made.
yeah.
Um, and it kind of makes you pause only for a second. It doesn't slow you down too much. And that kind of smell memory of like different substances and liquids and potions that needed to be mixed together and mixed with science and magic to create these clones.
I imagine it'd be like a slightly like formaldehyde kind of smell, you know?
Ooh, yeah. You recognize it, and you know it's not the most common smell to happen upon. Um, you know it
But
requires like this one requires like occult stuff to actually kind of activate to use for this specific purpose of a gore. And there seems to only be one person in this town that has or that is rumored to have such magical abilities. And that would be someone that you're traveling with, the witch of Sunfall, Sheeran Stones.
mm,
And it seems like it can't just be a coincidence. You know, what is Sheeran even doing here?
yeah.
You know?
Mm,
And why were you
reminds
brought
me.
here?
Huh. I think as the smell hits me, my like old family accent, like, bah, it smells like brothers. I oh, I hate that accent. I've worked so hard on it to lose it. Oh, and I'll like whip out a fresh tape as I'm kind of running, slip it in, and be like, note to self. Hmm, something reminiscent of father is around, and only somebody strange would have it. Magical, uh, scientifically advanced, even. Hmm, the witch? Hmm, why did brother send me? Click. And I'll put it back. And I'll keep like this thought fresh as I'm like running to join the group and find Chris.
Awesome. So you've already gone to your house, and then at this point, you got your what did you get? Your
On
alcohol,
my revolver,
your revolver.
fill up my flask, and
Uh-huh.
a couple fresh tobacco, some
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you wanted to see if you got
Yeah, any messages of the
message
kind. It's pretty early, so I'm not like expecting anything, but like, just in case.
No, I think especially on this luck usage, you find your bird is back, and you can you almost think that, oh, that's what I had heard when I was running in. It maybe had just arrived after you. What was who did you ask the question to? I didn't write that part down.
I think it
So you
would
have
be
bartender, fringe scientist, and a cult, right?
it would be a cult. It would be a
A
cult.
cult. If they had heard anything that sounds like what you're going through.
Yeah, any creatures if they've come about. And I kind of feel like the occult brother would be on like the Zigor side.
Mhm.
So he might get the message first. I don't know who's running the operation. I haven't been home in a while.
So you get a response back. It's hard to tell because he's only scribbled quickly something to get the message back to you without signing, which exact brother it is. There are a few that are mixed up with occult stuff, and so maybe your bird just went to the closest one or the one that it's most used to. You're not quite sure, but very quickly scribbled. I just want to make sure I'm not
If there's no
+1.
bragging, it's not Zigor, so I wouldn't feel as bad. Thank you for contacting the greatest brother.
And so I guess that will give you the opportunity to roll investigate a mystery, and you get a +1 for it. I think that's what
Oh.
the move is wanting you to do.
Fuck yeah. Investigate a mystery. That's sharp.
Or you know what? Don't say what you got.
Mhm,
From the wording, it also seems like you could just maybe you can take this out in a moment of where you're doing your next investigate a mystery and give you a +1 on that one. You can still
No.
roll it now, but
No, I'll use it now. I feel like the most as much information as possible will help.
cool.
My brothers are knowledgeable. I got 11.
Oh, very nice. Okay, investigate a mystery. That is hold 2
Hold 2.
on your questions. It should be on the Discord.
Yeah, where the dice come to die.
Get it? Get it?
Investigate a mystery. Well, I guess I guess I'll be looking to see right away if it says exactly what kind of creature it is. I think we said it was like a reaper, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe they have better info or something a little bit more precise.
Okay. I'm trying to get into the mind of a gore. Right? I'm not going to give you a collegiate answer, but I still
Gore.
need to. Yeah. Gore. I still need to honor the question. I think that they would have written nightmares slash primordial slash shadows everywhere.
Like asking me or telling me?
No, telling you.
Okay. Primordial. Curious and curious.
But maybe the shadows everywhere is scribbled over a couple times to make it bold.
Shadows everywhere. Shadow creature. Straight. I guess I'll use my second one. Well, I guess we know what it was going to do, right? We learned last time. No, I'll hold. I'll hold my question. I'll be like shadows. You can only fight shadows with light or fire. We know, but maybe this will help. And I tuck the letter and grab my stuff and get ready to meet up. I don't want to spend too much time.
Yeah. And the quickest path from A to B. I mean, you live here, so you take it right back. You'll get there relatively quickly thanks to your high roll. But we will go back not yet to Alexei, but to the two vulnerable companions that he left behind. As in a moment, these creatures, which seem to be sometimes everywhere and sometimes nowhere, snuff out the light sources that you have in the way that they have been doing this whole campaign, which is just instantly and without warning. And you both feel this like pressure in your head as they have decided to switch focus, not from the group that has been corralled towards the forest, but to the two strangers who've lagged behind. So can you both roll me plus cool? I will
All right.
start with Mervin, please.
So that's a 10.
Very nice. You feel this connection in your head to something or someone or whatever kind of concept your brain is trying to grasp. It just feels like it's attached to something that's not you. And in that moment of like attaching to something, I think even just being who you are, you're always like looking for answers or looking for questions, like, looking for connections. So as soon as this connection happens, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask one question right now from either investigate a mystery or read a bad situation, as you kind of like turn this connection on itself. And now you'll be...
Wait, gotta look it up. Wait, quick.
That's fine. No rush.
And the other one being investigate mystery and
And it's going to be something that like you learn instantly from whatever is doing this to you. So it won't necessarily be about like everything that's going on. It's almost like asking someone a question and reading their mind and like getting their immediate answer.
okay. So like I'm basically I want to ask like what is it like because it's I don't know what this kind of creature is. So like what sort of creature is it is like the question I want to ask, but I'm gonna kind of flavor it and just kind of ask like, and what exactly are you?
You notice that as the like pressure kind of dissipates, it's less of a force and it's more of a presence of whispers of different words and in different languages and different sounds, and they all fill your head at once. And maybe you just kind of concentrate on trying to grab a word or two from it. And you hear like mother, 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 mother over and over and over again. Like go, 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 go. Forward, 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 forward.
Allez.
Allez, 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 allez. Tabarnak, tabarnak, tabarnak. And you get the sense that that's whatever this thing is, it rather than having like a physical presence on your body, it's just a whisper. These things are whispers, and they attempt...
This sort of like incorporeal force rather than
Yes.
physical entity.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right.
Interesting. Okay.
But like maybe I'll say that like it happens the moment the light goes out as well, so you get that kind of connection of like something extinguishes the light and only then do these things kind of
So
go
while
in.
that's happening, I'm just, like as I kind of like get that question like kind of shunted out of my head, I'm like, no, I have enough voices in my head, thank you, and I'm gonna light my lamp again.
Awesome. You will get +1 forward if any of your future rolls have to do with anything that you just learned.
Yeah.
So I'll keep note of that. And as you are doing that in the moment, we'll switch over to Sheeran. Sharon, your roll is also plus cool.
Yes. My cool is nothing. So. I got a 9.
Okay.
6 plus 3.
You can also ask one question,
Mm-hmm.
or you cannot. If you do, you'll gain the information, but you'll take a -1 forward to all future attempts for the whispers to get to you. So all of your future plus cool rolls for this will be at a disadvantage, being -1.
Okay.
Or you can just like concentrate on just like shunting this thing out of your mind. And you
Yeah,
don't
I'll
get
just
anything.
concentrate on it to exit my mind.
Okay. And you feel like your limbs start to like stiffen for a moment as like for you it's just like pressure in your head and your body starts to like freeze up. But what do you do to kind of like force this thing out of you?
I just constantly concentrate on get the match, get the match, get the match. You know, I'm just telling myself like the one mission I need right now is just to turn on the light.
And it's hard for you to even like think that because there's so much going on up there. But that voice like slowly starts to pierce through, even though in real life it's like a second in your head. Like it feels like it's slowly starting to come through, and you hear it, and you go for the match. I mean, you guys are decked out in matches and stuff. So. And as soon as that light comes out, that pressure is relieved from your head. And you turn and you see your friend is also shaking it off.
You're doing well, Mervin.
Oh yeah, I'm used to this kind of stuff.
You're used to what kind of stuff?
Well, voices in my head.
Oh, I mean,
Damn.
duly noted. Duly noted.
Wait, was that not what you got?
I mean, it was more of a pressure than anything, but not an actual voice.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah, pressure. Oh no.
It's okay, friend. I can for sure find an ointment for.
So what's
for
happening
this
with
lady.
Alexi? Is he still fighting that guy? Marvin's gonna, like,
Alexi! Or
Yeah,
yells in the background.
how do we'll time this so that like this was kind of like a simultaneous attack, both on the group and on you. And so the like loud noise was also combined with the pressure in your head. So maybe like for a moment it just felt like this noise was getting into your head, and that's all it was. But now that you've kind of shaken it off, you notice that everyone now has turned. No one's looking at Alexi anymore. Everybody is looking towards the forest, which is still pitch black in front of them.
Okay, so that corresponded with like that loud cracking sound.
Yeah, we'll make it like that, and we'll. I assume you guys will follow up.
I mean, yeah.
We want to catch up to the crowd now.
Yeah.
Well, I want to get to Alexi first, and then catch up to the
But he's
crowd.
in front of the crowd, so.
So since Alexi's the closest to this danger, I will throw it to you. I mean, the crowd of people are like witnessing something that they've never seen before, on top of something else that they've never heard of or seen. So I mean, they are just like frozen in fear right
I
now.
don't know what's going on.
Pretty much. Yeah, there's one guy in the front. I don't know what's going on right now. But you are so experienced that you would obviously react first, even before Chris.
So I mean, it was just a noise so far, right? But I've heard the noise before. I turned to look at it as well, but then I quickly like snapped to, and I shove Chris again, and I go, Alice, get out of here!
Some people literally just like drop their stuff and run back home.
Mhm.
I'll say like a good like fucking like 2/3 of the crowd. this noise, with this, like everything that's going on, with you yelling at them to go, 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 and then this is the like they don't need any more convincing, pretty much. Most people just turn tail and run. They're like rolling down. It's a little bit of like a downhill slope, so they're like rolling down and fumbling and dropping their torches, grabbing onto other people. And you hear now these like basically what sounds like footsteps coming towards you, and as it makes contact with the ground, you hear another tree kind of just get pushed out of the way, and it sounds like whatever this thing is approaching you, and that gets rid of the rest of the mob pretty handily. Only Chris remains with you, and I keep forgetting his name because I keep calling him the old man. Grayson.
Grayson Fielding.
He is like just like stood still, and I'll give you a time to either do something with what I'm about to say or do something else. You see, he goes to reach out towards Chris. His arm is starting to extend towards Chris, but this thing is seems to be approaching you. Yeah.
I think I'm more focused on the noise. I take a step forward, and I take my sword in hand and flick the sheath off it.
No.
And in my hand is a broken sword. Right down at the middle, it's all like splintered and fractured.
Yes.
I hold it in one hand, put it down to my side, and I just sort of like stare at the darkness. And I'm listening for the sounds and trying to like figure out the distance it is based off like the vibrations and stuff like that.
Wolf eyes.
Yeah, wolf ears.
We'll say the edge of the forest is like 40 to 50 feet in front of you, and it sounds like it's just about to reach that line.
Okay.
Holding this broken sword by your side, you see Chris lunges out at Grayson lunges out to Chris, and Chris maybe like instinctively kind of like puts his hands up to block an attack, but Grayson, rather than going for him, just goes for his torch and yanks it out of his hand and throws it out to the side. And become enveloped in darkness. I'm pretty sure you didn't come with any light source.
I did not.
Okay.
But can I do something?
Of course.
Okay. In the darkness, the light, the scuffle happens behind me. I don't even turn to look at it. The light goes out, and I go, Chris, do not worry. We do not need that measly little light of fire. For I have with me the spirit of the saint of the holy flame, Frederic Bastille. And I hold up the sword, and it ignites in flames and lights up the area around us.
This fucking sword lights up fucking buckshot. Yeah, like Mervin, you're the only one in this town with a flashlight, so you mostly know the difference between lamplight and gaslight and flashlight. This is otherworldly. This is not like any other source of light that you've seen. It's clearly fire, but my God, is it bright. And it shines a light on everything around them within like maybe like 20 to 30 foot radius. Just this blinding light in the darkness. You have it by your side. I'll keep it on you now, as like, everyone's like, oh, this bright light shows up, and you stand there with it, and the footstep like just reaches the edge of the forest, and they stop. What do you do?
I hold it out to get a better look at what's approaching. And as I do, I'll start like taking steps closer to it.
Very nice. You see something similar to the drawing, but you know what's a drawing to something that's really in front of you?
Ooh.
It's like it's just sacks of this warbling fluid that isn't giving off any light, it seems, but you can still see it. It's like shades of gray in the darkness that doesn't seem to like radiate out from the space that it takes. And it's all these sacks, and you can't even discern like the shape of like where the legs are and where the head is. And some of the sacks are like going in on themselves, and other ones are so its shape is like always changing in 3 dimensions too, you know, like the ones in front, all to the side, but your light like casts such a bright light on it that you can really see all the details and like the stretched like almost skin on this thing as it starts to lift some of itself up, or like masses grow and then fall, and then it kind of rolls towards that, and it makes like a noise that I could not attempt to replicate, but it sounds
Try to.
it's what you would imagine like I don't oh gosh it's
An
like,
autonomous waterbed.
yeah, I guess it's kind of like watery-ish sound, like, but it's also mixed with like things are like popping and like cracking inside of it.
This is how Dark Souls meetings are had.
And it approaches you, and all of a sudden one of its bubbles just pops, and this stuff like shoots out towards you. But because you're like so prepared, I'll give you a moment to, you know it's gonna hit the 2 that are next to you as well. But it'll also hit you. So I'll give you a moment to kind of choose what your approach wants to be. And as soon as you choose it and you do it, I'll say that the other 2 kind of like catch up right with you, and you guys can respond to what he does. And then once you respond, the final member of your group, P.I. Gore, will be there. So P.I. Gore, you're seeing this from afar.
Okay.
What is this blinding light? God damn it. I pull up my recorder again. I'm like, it's an extremely blinding light. Fascinating. Never seen such a thing. And put it back and double time. I think what I'd want to do is like, as I'm like running close, as soon as I get next to whatever the light source is, or as close as I can, I just want to chuck my lantern on this thing.
Okay. Actually, okay. So we'll see what Alexi does, and since you're doing like a ranged thing, I'll open it up to the 3 of you after who wants to go first.
Yeah.
I'm
like trench coat, like
flapping behind you. This like pustule that it like spat at me. Can I kick its ass?
You could like if you want to, then you'll roll it. It's such a quick thing.
Yeah, I want to as soon as it spits it out, I want to like fucking leap out towards it, and then with my sword like slice it in half or something.
Awesome.
Sorry, Grayson and Chris. Kick some ass. Because when I kick some ass, I can use weird instead of tough.
Oh yeah.
So here we go. That is a 4 and a 4, so that's 8 plus 3.
Ooh,
Damn.
A hot 11. Okay, kick some ass. So what do you do? You feel that like you do kind of make contact with whatever this is. with your swing. So it is a physical thing.
Yeah, I think that I don't want to waste any time, so I'm literally just barreling through it. But I've got like my sword in front of me, and maybe I'm doing like a somersault or something, and I'm like spinning with the sword, and I cut through it.
You cut through
Really
it,
extra, you know.
and like it maybe like passes by you as it like splits in front of you, and you hear like
Son.
just you hear like just noise like, and it goes by you. It feels like it's producing some sort of noise, and it goes past you, unaffected.
Mhm.
You run up, it goes over Chris and Grayson, and you see they're like, they feel like uncomfortable in their skin. I mean, normally you couldn't see this right in the dark, but this fucking bright light that you have, you like clearly see them as you're approaching Mervin and Sheeran. That this stuff like it seeps into their clothes, and they're like, but I'll throw it to whoever wants to act right away. It's all on you. I won't spotlight anyone specifically.
Mervin wants to do something just real quick. He just wants to replace the batteries, or at least see if his flashlight works. If not, he's going to replace the batteries in his flashlight.
Yeah, you like it doesn't turn on, but you got a bunch of batteries.
I replaced them.
Do you want to make this like a roll, and maybe it's better than just replacing it, or maybe it's much worse, or do you just want to do it, no roll required, and we move to someone else?
I don't know how it could be much better than replacing them. I don't want to use it just yet.
Okay.
I want to have it available to use later.
Cool. Okay. As that is happening, and I'm sure it's not as like well made as one of the ones now that you could just like.
That's it. Like I had to like open it up and like kind of reach into like my pocket, grab the batteries as I'm like trying to keep like one lamp open and like around and trying to put it in.
I mean, you do like you feel like the sword right now is like providing like way more than enough light.
Doesn't matter. You still got my lamp.
Okay. Lantern out. Who's next?
I guess I could go, but I want to really understand the situation. So the people are being like almost possessed by the shadow thing, or did I
You
misunderstand?
don't know what's happening. There's just like something that went on them, and then like it got absorbed into their clothes and stuff, and they look like they're trying to take it off.
Okay.
And then there's just this huge disgusting thing that just like pussed all over them.
Spit on them. Spit on them.
I yell to everyone, I'm going to shoot the crossbows. I'm gonna lit things on fire. Maybe if they pass through the fire, could remove the thing? Maybe. But I'm going to shoot one of the Molotov crossbows that they have behind the people. Like I'm gonna try to aim it so it's like blocking them from going further into the forest type thing.
Oh, you're gonna shoot?
Who's going into the forest?
Are they not like going to walk
at this
into the
moment?
forest?
They're still like doing like this to themselves.
Okay, well.
So yeah, I mean, you could try and like block their path in front.
Yeah, I
of
want to
them.
still block the path.
I feel like you'd have to pour out like oil in a line and then shoot it with your arrow so that it creates like a line of fire. I think if you just shot the arrow, it would like go into the ground and there would be a little flame.
Got it. How about?
Or you can wait for what Shadim is going to do and maybe respond to that.
Oh, true.
Are you shooting a Molotov? Like, have you actually filled like a small canteen with oil and like you're lighting a piece of cloth with flame on it though? Like, are you actually making a Molotov cocktail?
What she prepared them.
Or are
you
last time?
You made cocktails and arrows. I was just thinking you only had the arrows. Okay, then that would work much better.
because I'm gonna say like that should be enough.
Yeah.
That's good.
That is going to be an act under pressure roll. I don't think you are proficient in aiming projectiles.
Oh no, not
in this heat of a moment.
You missed. You hit the back of like.
50. Oh, hopefully not.
It's like one of those like.
Oh god, I am using a lock. I am locking. I lock right here, right now. It's happening.
That sounds like Snake Eyes.
How much knowledge
Potentially
does he
everyone
roll?
burns.
Lights it, explodes in her hand.
Oops. So yeah, I'm for sure going to take a chance of my luck to change my roll to a 12 as I have rolled a 3. And that's not it.
Nope.
You. So just like okay, so we'll say Alexi is like here on the right, forward with his flame sword in front of him. Behind him and to the left are these two figures that are maybe now just getting up from being on the ground, kind of like messing with themselves. And you are behind all of them, primed to throw wherever you want in that area.
Can I say that my raven like flies a bottle of oil? I
Of
should
course.
because I used luck just to make it epic.
Okay. Oh, so do you want like
Yeah.
they grab onto the
do
oil?
attack command.
Yeah,
They
that's it.
drop
And then I
it.
just shoot it.
You shoot it like just before it hits the ground, and it explodes. The oil like it almost like creates like a half like circle around them, and instead of just like a straight line, it like it up the the oil like kind of goes everywhere, and so it even like starts to approach them, and so they instantly recoil from it, getting themselves a little further from where you think they were trying to go. In that blast of fire and in the like light that is now getting closer to the forest from Fred, you see just to the left of this figure, this silhouette that reminds you of the same one that you see each day when you look in a reflective surface.
Oh.
And from their wrist
Uh-oh.
emits a little light.
What the fuck?
And
What's happening?
we will move it to Piago.
Sweet. Yeah.
So you see that basically what you wanted to do has happened, not hitting the monster, but hitting the ground in front of these two. And it seemed to have worked for her or him. So what do you want to do, Piago?
Yeah, I think I'll still. Oh wait, I think as I'm running, I'm thinking about this, but I wanted to meet Chris first. So, like, how is he looking? Would I be able to like see him throughout the crowd, or is it just like?
So the crowd is like fully dispersed. They've.
Or I mean, like us between like us.
He's in front of your two pals. But he seems to just be getting up and then stepping back from the fire that's like approaching him in the grass. He hasn't made any sudden moves or anything after like the wiping of his body. Kind of just jumps back from the fire. And I guess he would just start to survey what's around him and get his bearings.
Okay, yeah. If I like running and I see him, and he's like, he looks cool. I'll continue to do what I was gonna do and like take out my lantern, go and chuck it.
Okay.
I guess I'll try and I guess I could try and shoot it too, as it like hits the monster.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's gonna be I'll
use a luck. I got him.
You can make it. Goodness, what's the most interesting here? Kick some ass. This is still an act under pressure, I guess. It's a coordinated move. Do you want to instantly use a luck, or are you gonna try and roll? See if you get
Roll.
12.
All right. Might as well see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been a 7. So yeah, I'm using that luck.
You throw this. So yeah, you describe to me like what happens.
Yeah, I'm like, I see it. I see like this thing, and I think like the words of the letter flash in my head.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, nightmares, shadows, yeah, Is I must get it. I'm full primal, thinking like a gore. It kind of like takes over me, and I run in and chuck my lantern on it, rip out my revolver, and it's got like this. It's got like this weird, like elongated chamber. It looks like it's been like handcrafted. And there's like a spoon at the end that kind of like turns. And I like shoot out a bullet, and the spoon like turns one notch.
That's so good. It just you shoot the lantern. I'm gonna say it does. We'll say it does 2 damage, 2 fire damage to this thing. And in the light, you also see the same thing, but now that like there's an extra light source directly on this thing, as opposed to being held out kind of near it and in front of it, you see. Well, why don't you go ahead and describe to me what he sees, Sheeran? What is underneath the mask?
All right. Quite a young face. Doesn't seem to bear any sort of wrinkles, so of course, still, like from his voice might seem, quite a young male. Blonde hair braided into a ponytail, lays on his back, hair quite long, so that's why he has what to work with. Wears would normally wear glasses, but wearing a mask would be a bit difficult to have both at once. So the actual glasses are carried somewhere on him, but you wouldn't see that. So I'm not gonna describe that. Blue eyes, and the thing that peek out of the hair, seeming as really long years. Um, and that is Sharon.
This figure stands there with this bright light on its wrist. And, next to this, like, hideous creature on fire now, you would think that he would turn his attention towards it. But you see his eyes trained right on someone, either Mervin or Sheeran. You can't quite tell. And you don't know what Sheeran looks like, right? So to you, this is just like an unknown figure, a third party. But he yells out for a second, Sheeran, you're messing with the timeline. Get out.
Oh,
And we will throw it right back to Alexi.
oh.
Throw it back. Okay, so am I closer to the monster and the?
So yeah, you've been like
figure?
running up to it. Maybe like stop for a second as like this fire exploded right in front of it. But especially with your long reach and your weapon, you're within range to strike.
Yeah. I think I just leap at the blobs. That's the biggest thing, and it's the thing that's got the most of my attention. And I think maybe even like just the nature of this thing is like triggering something inside of me. So I'm just like, I just want to like fight it,
Griffith.
So I'm going to leap up and kick some bubbly ass.
Hell yeah!
Kick some bubble bass.
That's plus tough.
No, it's plus weird because I'm kicking ass.
Oh shit!
Okay, let me just. Well, here we go. Okay, 2 5s. That's a 10 plus 3. That's 13.
Oh, fucking hell, dude. The fuck? Okay, on a 10 plus, you can choose an extra effect. You can gain advantage, so take 1 forward or give plus 1 forward to someone else. You can deal 1 more damage. You can take 1 less damage from whatever might be coming to you, or you can force them where you want them.
Okay, I'm going to. As my enhanced effect, I would like to. Oh, wait a minute. Pick an enhanced effect. Oh. Wait, are these different than the ones you just read to me?
Maybe. I don't
On
know
a
what.
12 plus, instead pick an enhanced.
Oh no, that's the enhanced, like plus 12. This is
Oh.
plus 10. You have to like take the advanced kick some ass. level up.
Oh, I see.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, because I was like, holy shit, these are really good. Okay, I will pick to. Can I just I leap out and I stab the ooze, but I'm I have so much momentum that I would like to push it deeper into the forest.
Ooh, okay.
From where I want them.
It won't be too much deeper in because this thing
No,
is
I
so
know, yeah,
huge.
it's massive.
But yeah, it'll definitely start to roll back, and you hear some of the the sacks start to pop underneath it as its weight shifts onto it.
Nice.
But some of the ones in the front, and you're noticing this kind of in the moment, just instinctively, that your light is interacting with it in a weird way. It's like a give and take, a push and pull. When you're up this close, now you can notice that it's so bright, but this thing is so dark in some places that it's they're fighting for dominance on this thing's body. But when you stab into it and push it forward, you see that your light starts to overtake the darkness on this thing's body. It has one less armor now. How much damage do you do?
Okay. My damage with the sword is 3.
Mhm.
But then I also have smite as a move, which means that my weapon and my body deal bonus, or they always count as a weakness against the monster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you see, you do 3 damage. It doesn't seem to do anything to this beast.
Mhm.
As you maybe look at your sword, you see that it's wedged in between a bunch of bubbles.
Yeah.
But it's more that you see that the light is starting to push the darkness away from its body and reveal more of just the physical sackness of it instead of this weird darkness that seems to envelop it.
Okay. Yeah.
So Shadim had thrown the lantern, which took away 1 armor initially. Now you've taken away 1 more.
Nice.
So now it's going to only have 2 armor. So anytime you do more than 2 damage, it'll start taking damage.
All right. Yeah, Alexi doesn't really understand what's happening with all the darkness and light. You know, he's just kill. He's got his foot on the hilt of the sword, pushing it deeper. You know, trying to put all his might and weight into it.
Amazing.
But yeah, that's me.
I'll throw it to Mervin. Now that your flashlight has the battery in it, you look in front of you, and you've seen enough of these creatures now to kind of notice what they do on the outskirts of light. Usually it's a little hidden because no one's ever looking for it. But you see that this light that Alexi is providing, nothing is piercing it. And there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of shaking of darkness around the light, trying, you think, to get in. But this light is so bright and so powerful that you feel the only thing that can exist within it is this huge thing in front of you. And so I'll just give you that you feel all this other stuff that's been kind of creeping in, it can't get to you right now.
Okay. I'm going to go and talk to Grayson.
Okay.
I see that they kind of have Alexi and the Ed and Gore are all kind of tossing things at this large creature. So, okay, they got that handled. And they go figure out how to what it is and what Grayson knows. So he's gonna go over
Flaking from the fight.
Yep. Grayson. What do you know of this thing? I read your diary.
His eyes go wide.
Your book.
And then his eyes narrow. And him and Chris jump on you.
Oh shit!
Now you look in their eyes, complete black in their eyes. Something's using them as like a host to still be in this area.
I'm gonna start beating him with his book. Get off!
That's gonna be either like a kick some ass if you want to like do damage to him, or an act under pressure, maybe to like just do enough so that he gets off of you and you can get out.
You're trying to like hit him in the head, try and like kind of dislodge that possession.
Okay, perfect.
So I guess act under pressure.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna use a luck. That was a 5.
Tonight's
Okay.
catchphrase.
Lucky.
But when I
Like special.
spend a luck,
Mm-hmm.
I can pick an aspect of the current situation. You can tell me like what other conspiracies that like aspect connects to. So I'm gonna pick Grayson himself. And like how does everything connect to Grayson?
Okay.
Like I know that he's like he was a surviving child and everything, but like why is he still being kind of used?
I'll say that this is more of an aha moment than like things being revealed in the tussle. And maybe it's because like you have the book in your hand too, so like you're remembering like what this thing is.
Next with you.
You remember him like he would always be at the birth of like someone's kid. You know, he'd always be there. Not necessarily in like a weird or not a creepy way. He's not a groomer. He's just a loser. But he would like always present himself like when they were kids, and he was just an old man present. So, you know, nothing weird about that at the moment. But with all these names written down, and all these like records that you had heard P.I. Gore thumb through. You think that like this kind of possession that's happening now, which is just sudden and like instantaneous and all encompassing, something like this had happened to Grayson when he was young, but it didn't take like a complete hold of him right away. It was just always there. And as he got older, it like slowly started to expand within him. And so in like a not last ditch effort, but like in like an assurance for the future plan, you would imagine that something or someone, maybe this thing in front of you, had planted this seed in him, left one kid that would still be alive the next time that this mother came back, that was in charge of, you know, making sure things were kind of ready for her the next time. So he was still there, you know. That's why, like, sometimes he would go into these weird states of like just repeating things, and then he'd be more like, now he's a little more lucid than before. So you feel like he's been like slowly possessed in this weird way where he was just being pushed towards doing things that he wasn't really sure why he was doing them. And in the moment, he just looks like he's as possessed as Chris. So maybe now that that's over, this thing is just like throwing this out, like, let me take control of anyone that I can to be on my side. If that makes sense.
Okay. Okay, gotcha.
And that all happens in the swing on the back of the head of Grayson. I'm going to ask you to roll for Grayson. It'll be a plus cool, which he's a +0 for cool, but you'll give him a +1 from this action of you like trying to actively stamp this thing out of his head.
To undo
Okay.
the possession.
Yes.
So I rolled a 7 + 1. That's an 8.
Okay. 8. So like the corner of his eyes.
Count as a roll against mother? that I have like, am I using? Can I use my +1 on rolls against this creature?
Oh,
Or does it work on his roll? Like I don't.
yeah,
I don't
it's
think it
like
works.
I could have rolled it, but I'm not really supposed to roll dice,
Yeah.
so I asked you to roll it. So it's really just this NPC. I guess
Yeah.
if like, no,
It's
yeah,
maybe, yeah.
So he doesn't fully reject it, but he's like, there's a little bit of whites that show up in his eyes, and he's in this like battle of that little bit of him that's still there, that's been like taken over
him.
for all these years. He's fighting back inside, and so he's kind of out of the fight for the moment, internally battling with himself, maybe like slapping himself in the face, no, and then trying to like pull at the grass, and like it's very weird. He's like fighting with himself. And so that's that with him. There's still Chris, but I'll say since he rolled a 12, his body kind of like falls on Chris's body as well, and so they're kind of tousled up at the moment. But Chris doesn't seem like affected in the same way. He's still possessed. He's just been knocked over by this body. And I will either throw it to kind of whoever wants to go. Like this, everything's happened. I mean, Sheeran, you seeing yourself, and you've had like a few moments now. So maybe I'll put it to you. You see everything that's happening, but you're the only one who knows who this person is.
I instantly go, 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 go. I want my bird to distract my other me as I try to hide myself.
I love it. Let me just make sure. Yeah, so they're an ally.
Yeah, they follow my every order.
Mhm. Okay, so then just roll me. We'll use your stats. A kick
Alright.
some ass roll.
Yes, let me
I
check
freaking
my
love
kicks
that.
now. Oh, I get a +3. Let's go. Okay, 1
Let's
sec.
go.
Yo, okay, 8 + 3, 11.
11. Okay. What
Damn.
what do you want to choose from the additional list?
Uh,
He can give one forward to you, or he can take it. He can do one more damage, so he'll do 2 instead of just the 1. Or he'll take less harm from whatever retaliation might happen, or he'll push this Sheeran or this Shira or whoever it is somewhere else where you want him to push them.
push them. Did they come from like a portal thing that they can be pushed back?
There's no portal open. You assume
Okay.
they probably did at some point.
Okay. Then I guess I'll take the extra damage. I make sure that my bird is extra sure about me wanting it to kill more than anything.
And it's kind of like you kind of like cringe a little because it's like it's as if your bird is attacking you.
Yeah.
But he goes like right for the eyes. And he doesn't quite like blind Sheeran, but it's like a real soft spot to get hit in. And so you see him like covering his eyes, just actively trying to keep this thing out of the way.
Yeah, and then I hide behind the tree and I check my watch.
Like 1 flickering to a 0.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it is the one that really does want to murder me.
Yeah. Like as he backs up from the attack, it maybe turns back to a 1, but it's like it's so close. That it's hard to say. And so that leaves us with the PI Gore.
Honestly, I think it like after I like shoot it, like holster it back, and maybe take that second to look more at the letter and try and like scan it quick. And I think I had one more question.
Yes, you did.
And I think I want to ask what's being concealed here as well, but in regards to the monster.
Okay, what is being concealed? You're taking a second to look. I'll say right away you notice what Alexi noticed, that the light and the darkness are in a battle themselves, as well as like Alexi and this thing. you see, were you there before? No, you heard the descriptions of what was happening. So since this is one of your questions, I'll just give it to you. The Reaper that had like absorbed light in a weird way and had like processed it, you see that same movement on this mother creature. And so you had heard that like it was processing the light and then it would just vanish. You think it may be like in this weird connection that they have, like appeared within the mother. And so as it was like going around taking light sources and energy, it was like giving them to the mother to power her up. But those spots that are like have that warbling like gray matter that's mixed with darkness, you can tell that those are like more physical, and those are the things that like the sword is like pushing up against, and they're like contracting back into themselves. So what's being concealed here is that like as it's getting power,
sick.
you see that it's like also making itself vulnerable to being attacked where
Yeah,
it's storing the energy.
and it's moving it around to protect itself.
Mhm.
Oh, fucking sick. I'll be like, hurry, and I'll like take out my trench coat, like a little box, and
Okay.
like extend it. Take out 2 of the little records, attach it to the front, and put together my camera. And I'll like put my hood over it, and just kind of start recording everything with,
Ooh.
and use 2 of my last recording discs for it. But and as I'm doing this, I'll kind of like yell out to Alexi, um, um, Alexi, concentrate on the orbs. That's its weak spot. Yell it, and like go back under my trench coat and my hood and just try and like record as much as I can of like everything that's going on.
Wonderful. Then Alexi, since you're up in the mix there, you've just heard
Yeah,
this.
can I react right off that?
course.
So I hear him say that, and I pull the sword out, and then I just start hacking at all the different like pustules
Mhm.
on the creature. Can I? Well, I mean, I'll like stab one in, and then like as it's wedged in, I'll use it as like a prop to like flip myself over, and then I'll like bring it back down on another pustule, and I'll do that like on a bunch of them.
Recording.
And I'm just like like stabbing them all, laughing like crazy.
All right, this is going to be 2 rolls.
Dude, oh shit. Okay.
It's going to be an act under pressure roll,
Okay.
and then it's going to be a kick some ass roll.
All right. All right.
Your pain is like strawberry jam.
Act under pressure.
So we'll resolve the act under pressure first.
Right. Okay. Here we go. I got 5, but I'm going to use my luck.
Use that luck, baby. You
Yeah.
feel yourself being overtaken by this like rage
Mhm.
of like, it's me or it's this thing. Like I can't hold myself in this moment. Like I need to like let everything out for this attack. You know, you're not necessarily thinking like you need to change it to a full wolf,
Mhm.
but like you need to go like dig deep in this moment to pull this move off.
Yeah.
And so go ahead and roll your move.
Okay.
I'm going to but I'm going to now ask you to roll something in response to what's being resolved right here.
Oh.
You're going to have to act under pressure before you use these powers that you feel you need to dig in and use.
Okay. So I'm before.
This is part of, so everyone knows, this is part of your monstrous special.
Yes.
So sometimes a disadvantage can manifest, or sometimes something good can happen.
Okay. So do I act under pressure before kicking some ass?
Yes, please.
Shit. Oh, that's a 3. That's a 3. I dig even deeper.
Let's
I'm
go.
gonna use another luck.
Yes.
Oh my god.
You can hear like cracking. My jaw extends. My like snout starts to form. silver hair starts to
Oh,
like cascade down my back.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's so like you said, like there's cracks, everything's happening at once, and like you're becoming more powerful. I'm gonna say that like in this moment, uh, all you do is you just like react to the situation and like maybe like your claws like extend a bit, and therefore like your grasp on the sword, you can kind of like swipe it and then like swipe it with the hand, or maybe with like the other hand, or with both. I'm gonna give you a ignore armor to your base.
Whoa, wait. Can I describe it a bit differently?
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to like pop all these like these pimples with the
Mhm.
sword. And at one
Come
point,
on!
like it goes in, and it just like I just like leave it there, and I like take it off my hands. And as I'm like changing my claws, as like you said, start to get longer,
Mhm.
but then they just erupt in flames as well.
Oh.
It says my natural attacks also count as a weakness.
Yeah.
So like I like engulf the fire of the sword, like comes up onto my like arms, and I'm like, ah! And I just start like digging into it.
I think you have a moment where you hear a word in your head from an old friend that like kind of gives you his blessing in it. Like it's not him, but like it's the manifestation of him in your mind
Okay.
saying one word to you. What is that one word that Frederic Bastille whispers into your ear? Or two.
One word.
Or two. You could say it has a hyphen.
It's a memory. And just because I want to say this line,
Yes.
all he hears in his mind is, come, sit by the fire.
oh.
And then like I'm like howling in my beast form. Maybe there's like a tear that nobody notices drips down my cheek.
Hidden by fur.
Yeah, gets immediately absorbed.
You don't have to roll for kicks of ass.
Yo.
Tell me your full damage and tell me what it looks like.
The damage is 3. Oh no, it's my claws. It's my claws.
Well, you're using your sword and you're doing this weird like coordinated attack with yourself.
Okay,
and your sword.
yes, you're right.
So give me everything. Give me the sword. Give me the natural attacks. You
Oh,
do get a
fuck.
+1. You get ignore armor to all your
Okay.
attacks now.
All right, so for the flaming sword, it's 3 damage, and for the claws, it's 2. Both count as weaknesses, and plus the armor penetration.
Awesome. So that's 5 total.
It's 5.
God
Yeah.
damn.
You so like describe like the meatiest like attack that uses the sword and the claws.
I kind of started describing it already, but I think like the sword gets stuck, and then to like get it out, I just start clawing out whatever like meat or substance this thing has, and then when it like flings out, I catch it and then stab it back in and go clawing some more. And I'm just getting like myself super messy the whole time.
It's feral. You will take damage from this. It's not too much. It's just going to be 2 damage.
Okay.
Is
that already reduced?
No.
Okay, so just 1 damage.
So you just take 1 damage from this attack. I mean, it's like you're so quick, but this thing isn't as like quick to attack you, so it kind of just retaliates a little bit in response. Who wants to go seeing this horrifying display of violent strength?
Just gonna keep recording everything. Try and get the whole scene. I guess I'll kind of like read a bad situation, I guess, as I'm recording. Just to see who I'll save or who's in danger, or also I'm kind of thinking about the witch as well. I'm kind of like putting 2 and 2 together. I'm like, that smell means some sort of weird science that father would make. So like that's like flashing through my head. But yeah, I want to read a bad situation.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hold on. That's plus sharp. Ooh, baby. That's 11.
Hold 3 questions.
Ooh, yeah. I guess the first would be what's the best way? No, it'll be are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So in this current situation, like I had said, you notice that the light is providing you with like really good cover from like any shadows being able to exist within it. And so you know from your note and stuff that these things are in the shadows everywhere, but shadows can't penetrate Fred's light. And so those dangers that you haven't noticed until now, maybe they're not really a danger to you at the moment. And every other danger, which is like maybe this character who just showed up and yelled at Sheeran, you already know that one, and you know the mother's there. And I guess you'll notice that like there's a tussle now between Mervyn and Chris specifically.
Oh,
So maybe that's one you haven't noticed.
that is true. Okay, I'll use my next one as what's the best way to protect the victims, I guess. That would be, I guess, Chris.
Chris is not the victim here.
Is there any victims? Victims are us?
Yeah. What threat are you thinking of? Chris or Sheeran or Mother?
I guess it would be Mother. I feel like that's the most pressing thing right now.
Then at the bottom of that note, in scribbled so much over itself with underlines that you can almost not read it because it's trying so hard to be emphasized. It just says fire. Best thing, you know, like if you tried to turn and run and like create distance in some sort of shadows, that would be dangerous here. If you just tried to hack and slash at it away, you see that like it wasn't really doing anything. You need to just light this thing up and not let the fire die down until it's dead, because you are like up in its face. So it's like there's no other way to get through it but to just demolish it with fire.
Okay, sweet. So I guess like at that point, I recorded as much as I can, so I'll kind of take off my hood and try and stuff it back, and then run over to Ed.
Okay. Ed, yeah, you not like, you see like Chris is like moving the old man off of him, and then he sees like all this happen, and he goes, "No!" And he tries to just like move away from you and run towards Alexei. So he's kind of like turning his back on you for a second and getting up to run away from you towards Alexei.
Wait, this is the other version of me?
No, Chris is getting up now.
Oh.
He's like pushed Grayson off of him, and he sees what's happening, and he's running towards what you assume is like his mother, this this being that's possessing him.
And I
Today.
Okay, I'll try to hold on to him. That's not your mother, Ben. That's a monster.
Okay.
You're just letting other Ed just do whatever he pleases?
Yeah, but like I dealt with him quickly with my bird. My bird is keeping him distracted, right?
He has his own bird.
Well, I haven't heard the yell yet for an attack, so I don't know.
So that's going to be an act under pressure roll.
Okay, act under pressure.
Or you know what? No, I'm going to make it protect someone.
Beautiful, because that gives me 7 plus 3, 10.
Plus
10.
Damn.
A 10.
Ooh.
When you get a +10, you either suffered little harm from whatever you're about to encounter. All impending doom is now focused on you. You inflict harm on the enemy, or you hold the enemy back.
I hold the enemy back. Well, it's not an enemy, but yeah, it's an enemy at the
yeah.
moment because they're being under control. But
Mm-hmm.
old man, this is an end.
So you see, like, you know, the old man is like more like having an internal battle. The 40-year-old younger man is the one that is getting in action. So you go to grab onto him. You hold him back. No! He's trying to force himself out of your grasp, but you've got a nice hold on him. So I'll throw it right to Mervyn. You're like kind of caught up in the mix of this, but
Well, I mean,
he's
now
held
everyone's
back,
off
so-
me, so I can get
yeah.
up, right?
yeah.
Get up, so I can brush myself off. Why is there 2 Eds? What did I miss?
It's hard to explain, but the one with the mask still, me, I am the good Ed. The other thing I have to explain a bit later. It's a long-winded story.
Okay. And Grayson's still kind of like fighting this thing, like in his
Yes.
mind.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna look
Pounding on the
over to Alexei and his fight with the big creature, and kind of like quickly like putting like just like making like, this. Possessed Chris is really like worried about this big creature, like being damaged so much by Alexei. So Mervin's gonna take out his revolver and take a shot at the big creature.
Okay. And as you aim, you hear cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. But go ahead
Oh, no.
and roll to kick some ass.
2 6s,
Ooh.
Woo!
but -1 because I have no tough.
That's still an 11. Okay, what extra thing do you want to do?
Good question. Let me check. Kick some ass. Where's that? Here we go. I'm currently like a lot further away from the creature.
Mhm.
So I don't think I can do like suffer 1 less harm or anything. So
Perhaps you did hear a cuckoo, 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 and last time you heard that, you
yeah,
got
but
assaulted.
I'm not fighting the other Ed because our Ed
Yeah.
told us that he wasn't a threat. So
Okay, all right.
if he was wrong, he's wrong.
That's fair.
But I'm going to give a +1 forward to Alexei in his fight against this this big creature,
Very nice.
and the roller is 2 harm.
Okay. With the 2 separate attacks that had come from Alexei, he shredded through all of the armor, and so your attack hits without having to worry about any armor getting in the way. What was the number again? Sorry.
2.
2. And now that you see that, like, this creature didn't have like a real shape, it was just like overgrown pustules and stuff. With this like violent attack that's happening, a lot of them are just starting to burst prematurely, and so they're not able to like shoot this stuff out at anybody or retaliate in any huge way. And the shape is getting like smaller. It's almost like deflating on the edges, revealing like something more physical at its core. Not humanoid-esque in shape, but creature-like. There is some semblance of like a snout and a very large body underneath. But none of this was being able to be seen before, because it was just this mass of disgusting bubbles of like light and darkness and flesh. But as it's being exposed, now you have something to aim at, and you shoot it like part of its snout just like comes off and goes on the ground.
Damn.
And that bird comes in and starts attacking you. Not sorry,
What
not
did
you,
I
not
do?
you, not you, not you,
Why
not
is
you.
this bird so against me?
It starts going to Sheeran. In this, like, you know,
Mhm.
but you're concentrated on the thing. But Sheeran, you like, you take 1 damage from the bird. But what do you do in response? I will get to right away after Alexi, because Alexi is in the most danger right now. And Alexi, maybe like you finished your attack and like you had like left your sword in and like you were scrounging around at its flesh to get it out. But you feel as though like now it's like stuck inside of a wall of like concrete that is like was soft before, and you put the sword in and then you let it harden. It's like wedged in there, and you see at the edge of the sword now like some of the internal darkness that is being revealed, that is like making up its shape, is trying to absorb this light. Its defenses are like fully dropped, and so it's not even really retaliating at you. You just see it start to eat away pretty quickly from the tip, starting to go down towards the what's it called?
Hilt.
Hilt.
Yeah.
Starting to try and eat away and like fill back up some of these bubbles with this energy that you're giving it. It's stuck inside of it.
Yeah, it's like I try and like yank it out, and I like maybe even use my mouth and like try and like pull it, and then I just get so frustrated that I like stand up. I'm like on top of it, I imagine, and I'm just gonna start stomping the hilt like deeper into it. Just like pure rage.
Okay.
There's very little thought in my mind right now.
Go ahead and kick some ass.
Yes.
Is that the luck point?
I got 2 1s, so you know what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
Becomes doom.
This is what I wanted.
Yeah,
This is what I cursed
I
you.
think I'm gonna end up using the ball. Holy shit!
Jesus.
Um,
Getting so monstrous.
Oh boy,
you're going to have to. Okay, how much damage does your sword do?
the sword does 3.
Okay. This thing now, it looks like a really big, like platypus kind of bear-ish creature. No fur, no eyes, nothing like that. Just like the shape, because it has like this kind of like bill-looking thing. But now it's been like kind of blasted off, and it's just got this mound shape underneath. But this thing is like, it's, you don't get the sense that you're like in danger of being like attacked by it. But you do get the sense that it's like it's trying its best to hold on to this sword and to do something to it. And in your rage, you're like stomping it in. You're gonna have to act under pressure, or you're just gonna like fully get this sword so far into this body that you can't like interact with it anymore.
Okay.
Maybe you start to notice like, oh fuck, like I'm gonna lose this sword in this thing if I don't stop. But this rage is overtaking you.
Yeah, I mean, I have like slight like lapses where I like come to or something, and I like I sort of feel panicked a little bit at my actions.
Turn up the heat.
And let's use another luck. That is 8. I think I have -1. Oh no, 0 for cool. So 8.
8?
Yeah.
Okay. You must do so immediately or act under pressure. So on an 8.
Worst outcome.
Yes. So you're trying to stop yourself. I'm gonna say that you can either like keep it up and you keep all of like your crazy like violent state, but you're gonna lose your sword, or you kind of like reel yourself back in, but by doing that, you will lose something.
Mm.
Like some of this power that you've just like given yourself. You're gonna have to reel back in, so you won't be as strong.
I keep it up.
Okay.
I keep it up.
And it's lodged inside of this thing's body now. And just in like pure defense, it brings like some of the remaining like weird parts of its body that are clinging on and that are starting to refill with energy to the front, and it bubbles out and pushes you off of it, and you just see like this like sword shape of light inside of its body like realign and straighten up, and the light like starts to extend from within it, and its body starts to get a little harder again, and it regains 1 armor from this interaction with the light that you have now stored deeply inside of it.
Mm.
Shit.
Alright. How far did I get launched?
You got launched like 10 feet.
Okay.
But you're still like super strong, super powerful. All this stuff you've kept. Who wants to act as they see him being thrown in the air and land back? Maybe like dirt's getting kicked up.
I think I'd still be running towards Ed, and I see that the bird's attacking.
Mhm.
Ed. So I guess it'd be protect someone.
Yeah.
To stop the bird plus tough. I'm gonna trash at that. No, I'm gonna use a luck.
Okay, how do you stop? I mean, you kill this bird. How do you kill the bird? Unless you really don't want to.
No, if it's attacking it, I have no qualms of taking out a bird. I guess I'll like. I guess I'll just use another bullet. Nothing fancy.
It like
Just
dives into hit before it can
Bink.
hit his face.
Dunk. One
Um,
more notch on the spoon.
And your bullet kind of like ricochets off the mask and knocks it off of Sheeran's face.
Oh, my mask too.
As I believe your yes, so like the mystery becomes more about like what you're being concerned with, and so you see the face underneath is the same face that is now running gun straight for Sheeran. This is the same person, and so now there's 2 of these supposed witches that you've been kind of tracking in this weird way.
Oh, I guess I wouldn't be too off put,
Mhm.
seeing that I know many people who
Like this-
look the same.
Mm-hmm.
So I think honestly, I would think you're like me. I'm running, and then like
Like multiples of gores. There's multiples of eds.
of Eds or something like that. So I'll kill the bird. I'll run. I'll be like,
I'm kind of like trying
Are
to
you-
hide my face with my arm, low key, but at some point I'm like, ah, guess there's no point to this anymore.
my the old Gore accent comes out there like, partner, are you like me? I marvel of science. Witch. You are the witch, right?
I took that identity here, yes.
And a clone. Do you have advanced science like father would have?
I
Do you need
can't
help
tell.
killing your brother? I know of family feud. They get
I mean-
jealous of your success.
Before he can answer, he gets tackled. As the other Sheeran is like I said, like running full sprint at him.
Same pose.
And like they start rolling. Like I said, it's a little bit of a downhill. They start rolling, not too far, but like tussling on the ground, fighting for control of one another. Sharon, he's trying to pin you down on the ground, just disregarding everything that's happening, like slamming your
Yeah.
shoulders into the ground,
I
taking your
mean,
wrists.
I have a silver knife. Can I attempt to grab at it?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, would it be act under pressure type thing?
Are you trying to more do damage to him? Or...
I do want to do damage to him.
Yeah, okay. If you want to do damage, that's going to be kick some ass.
Alright.
Which health?
Are they wearing the same clothes?
No, definitely not. He
Okay. We can tell them apart.
yeah. Our head is dressed like an old woman.
Yeah, I'm wearing a cloak and everything, babushka outfit.
The babushka.
I got 6 + 3, 9.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, there was an exchange of damage. So what does your knife do?
It's 1 harm.
1 harm. Where do you slash at? He's like on top of you, trying to pin you down.
I guess just at its face or something. And try to like get him off of me.
You like get him at the chin and like up at the cheek, and he grabs at your wrist and turns it in and plunges it down in you, doing 1 damage right back to you.
Can I like try to intervene to like point my gun at the back of its head? If there's like a lull.
This is like it's all like one like he's getting hit and then he reaches up and just plunges it back in, so you can't stop the damage, but like now he kind of has control of the wrist, so you can come in and try and do something else, unless somebody else. This is Monster of the Week, so we're kind of just flowing. If somebody wants to go, they go. So if you want to go, Shadim.
Yeah. I think I'll try and like stop him. Like just try and like aim at him, get close, and be like, freeze. Cigarette lit. No one knows when it happened. I'm gonna need you to stop.
I'm gonna say you have to roll to protect someone to see what happens.
All right.
And maybe he stops for a sec. He feels like the cold metal on the back of his head.
You know what? I'm gonna use another luck. Fuck it. We got him.
Let's go.
We got him to you.
Okay. What do you want to do on this list? Since he's more than a bird, you can do some other stuff. You can suffer little harm. You can focus all danger on you, inflict harm on them, or hold them back.
I guess it would be like hold them back. I'm really just trying to like intimidate them, make them stop attacking, and just try and like get control and like yank them off. The other end, the end I know.
Yeah.
Because like I had like I'm like I wanted to talk and you like interrupted this. I'm kind of pissed. Like yank him, put the gun. They'd be like, your brains will end up on the floor. Oh, look here. Your brains are going to end up all over the ground.
What? Stay out of this.
Move.
Just stay out of this, please.
No.
Please.
Be like, could you move, a witch? We need a lot of fire. If you could do things like Father could do, could taught us. We need a lot of it.
I
don't think you have any idea what he's talking about Father, that's for sure.
I only have more Molotov cocktails, but I don't. I'm not magical in the sense of I can make things up. I can only craft things with herbs.
Right. And I'll like keep aiming the gun at the bad end.
Okay.
I'd be like, all right, leave him for me. And could I try and like knock him out?
Yeah, since you have the gun right there, just go and
like a little
just go and I mean, do you want to knock him out by doing like so much damage in one hit that it knocks him out, or do you want to just like hit him right in the right spot and like?
Yeah, I'm more trying to do that. Okay. Just like quick.
So act under pressure.
Okay. Cool. -1. Oh, that would be a 5. No, I'm gonna use another one. I'm running out. So
All right, all right, all right.
I can't do that much.
You knock them just like clean in the back of the skull. The brain like hits the back of the skull, hits the front, and in response, they just shut down for a second and like seize up and fall back, and like slowly start to come back after a few seconds. And they're like their hands are like out by them, and you see the wrist like watch. And you see something that's like coming out of it. It's like a disc that seems to like be slipping out from the watch. And it's this weird like bluish, purplish color that I'll say you might have like seen before as you were investigating some stuff, concerned with father. You've seen it like around corners and stuff, this like weird light. So you think whatever this technology in has been present maybe within your lifespan, and somehow this is all connected back to father.
Even now, doing great things. I'll be like, all right, Molotovs.
I'll throw them.
We'll throw them together, as many as we can.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
You gotta like take them out and carefully light so that you don't like light it too close and it explodes right away.
In our hands.
Yeah, we'll give that a moment. We'll go back to Alexi getting up off of the ground. Maybe. And yeah, you see this thing, and now like you've encountered like beasts that could kill you in like a swipe and like stuff like that. This thing has minions that it sends out to do the dirty work for it, and it's literally in the process of like trying to give itself power so that it can survive. But you guys have interrupted that, so it's not necessarily a force that's going to wipe you out. It's really just in like conservation mode right now, focusing on the light that's inside of it and doing that process that starts to give it back maybe some health, maybe some armor, maybe some more abilities. You're not sure, but it's not really primed to attack you. It's just like doing this process that causes it to like stay still as it's happening. So it's kind of just standing still in front of you, doing some weird shit.
Perfect. I do not relent. And Alexei says that in his wolf form. He goes, I do not relent. He freaking howls and leaps forward at the creature.
Amazing.
And he's going to try and dig through that hard casing.
I'll say at this
put
point,
up some armor, I know that, but
yeah. No, you're still. No. You're very lucky, my friend. There's no moonlight is your vulnerability, and there's no moonlight in question, and so you don't have to act under pressure to do this. You can just try and do it.
All right. Signature special, kick some ass.
kick his ass.
Here we go.
Kick his ass, man.
So that is 8 plus 3, 11.
God. All right, what are you choosing from the list?
I am going to choose. I am going to choose to gain the advantage, but I would like to give +1 forward to one of my companions.
Okay.
Pretty much any of them. It doesn't. We'll say Ed.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And how much does your claw do? Because now your sword is inside of it.
Yes, my claws deal 2.
it starts to like, like its body starts to harden, and these like weird sacs start to refill with whatever this stuff is. You go, and like your initial swipe kind of is met with this armor that reduces it by 1, but then you kind of like you're kind of used to digging into this stuff and ripping it out, and so you do that, and you see it's like it's on its kind of last leg. Most of these sacks you've like shredded so they can't even refill with this energy, but it still has like kind of one that is repositioning around its body, and the light is so faint that like grayness within it is just so faint that it almost looks like you're just fighting a weird platypus bear that stands in front of you. But as you are like concentrated on this, it kind of gives like one last from that bill spit on you, and I'm gonna ask you to roll a plus cool.
Me roll cool.
Yes.
Okay, I have 0 cool. So let me go ahead.
You do have a +1 going forward.
Yes. Didn't use it last time. Okay, so that's a 4 plus 3. That's 7 plus 1, 8.
8. Same thing that happened to Diana, or no, it's not doxing because we never use that. To Shirin, you can ask a question from either of the 2 question lists, but you'll take -1 forward if this does happen again.
If I get gooped,
or you concentrate and get rid of it,
or you can just get rid of it. It is like it's this weird, like I said, like you have your human mind, you have your like feral mind that are always in battle, and this thing is like getting in between the 2. So you can maybe turn your attention to it and see what this is, or you can just push it out.
Oh. But do I still get to ask a question, or I have to?
Yeah, you can choose to ask a question, but then you might be weak next time this happens, or you can choose not to.
What question would I really even ask at this point? I don't know. Wait, I'm trying to find out. Wait, there's investigate a mystery. Where's the other one? Read a bad situation.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask a question. A question. Yeah. What's my best way in?
What's my best way in? You see that this thing is like reforming stuff from the outside. If you could maybe like interact with what's already inside of it, and like you see it's like eating away at the flames that are happening, but if you could do something to help like the sword inside of it have like a fight back, destroying it from the inside seems like it wouldn't have a defense against that. It's able to block stuff and like form things around on the outside, but it's still a mass in the inside that doesn't really change. So if there would be a way to like get in there or just interact with it like magically or something.
Okay, all right.
So basically you just learn that like at its core it is still just a being that has defenses on the outside, but is still just made of stuff that can be destroyed on the inside.
Sick.
And I will throw that over to Ed. Ed, like in his like coming out of his getting knocked in the back of the head, you see him like just swiftly trying to reach at his own watch. That like this is like a kind of last ditch like portal effort. You don't have this in your watch. You maybe like
wait, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Wait, you sound like an alien.
Oh shit.
I was like, what was that? I thought someone farted.
She's been abducted. Oh, she's refreshing.
Okay, cool.
Because Ed has been tackled by other Ed.
Okay, I don't know why it does that. Am I robot?
No,
Nope,
you're good.
no.
Okay. I guess Bluetooth headphones just act weird. I'm going to. I don't know if I want to stop it. Like I'm a coward, low key, so I want him to leave. But at
Like
the
maybe
same
like
time,
you
I don't want
used
to be
your
hunted
last one
forever.
to come here, so you think he's using like his last one to escape.
Yeah, I'm. Oh, okay. I'm gonna try to shoot a crossbow at him.
Oh yes. Kick some ass
Kick some ass. Kick some
yeah,
ass.
okay. Or act under pressure.
Okay, I am going to get a luck point.
Let's go. Okay. He takes it out and like has it in his hand, and you shoot at the watch.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say that like the watch's like defense mechanism kicks in, and Ed gets like sucked into his watch, and like this last like fuck, just like his body gets like stuffed inside of it, and then it turns on itself, and it's gone, and the little disc just drops to the floor, the little portal, unactivated, and you know you have a little slot in your watch that it can be like placed in. And so Ed is who knows where and who knows what now. But he's left behind a portal for you.
Oh god.
I
Well,
wish I could
yeah,
do
I am
that.
for sure going to be a bit flabbergasted by the. Well, I know that it would probably happen, maybe with a random. Just the watches are cuckoo. I know that much.
Oh, and your watch, like the number just goes away. There's no number.
Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to take the disc and I guess goodbye, cowboy. You know. You tried to murder me, but couldn't do it.
From that, I will throw it to Mervin, who's been
Yeah.
perhaps tying threads in his mind. Sorry, Mervin.
So, as Ed and Ed have been tussling on the ground, that means that Chris is free.
Chris, interesting.
Because
In the
I want,
tussle,
seeing that, like Mervin wanted to like act, but I also didn't want to like push into anyone's seat.
yes.
So Mervin kind of like sees Ed get tackled by Ed, and Chris able to like get back up. He's like, "Nope, not today!" And he just like flying tackles into Chris.
Okay, that could be a protect someone so that you can have the like hold enemy back move that you take, so that I can't like do anything against it. Or you can try just the regular act under pressure roll, and that might be more left up to the situation.
Yeah,
So I'll give you the option.
I'm gonna try. I mean, look, protect someone isn't my forte, but I'm gonna try to hold somebody back. All right. I'm gonna use another luck point.
Yeah.
That was a
Luck,
6,
luck,
and I
luck,
don't want
luck.
him to leave anywhere.
Awesome. As part of your luck,
Cheating.
what's one aspect? That's fine. I thought it's really cool.
It's not cheating if it's there.
What's one aspect of what's happening that you might
So
have a question?
this like shadowy liquid has kind of like just all coalesced and converged on this creature at the core.
Mhm.
But like again, what is this creature at its core? Why does it absorb all this liquid? What is making it act in this way?
You get like you look at it from afar, and like lit from within. It kind of looks pathetic. It kind of just reminds you of like a creature that, like, why does like wolf like kill to eat, and because it needs to survive, and why do any animals like do anything just for survival? And like, how did they get there? Evolution, what, like, you can't, there's no like
Okay.
incredible answer. So you don't get the sense that this is like a force of evil that has been brought upon the world, or that has been teleported in from another dimension. It's just something that is born of perhaps this area, this forest, and it wants to survive. And the mess of like light and dark and innocence and all that, the way they play into each other in other aspects of life, they play here. It just needs energy from like untainted sources, which is usually young children,
Or pure energy.
or yeah, literally just pure energy of
Okay.
light. And it's developed defense mechanisms in the form not necessarily of outright attacking, but
Possessing.
possessing and stuff
Okay.
like that.
And I also want to
And
use one of my holds
yes.
from Connect the Dots.
Mm-hmm.
How does
Your
this
final
creature...
one, I think?
Huh?
Your final one, I believe?
No,
The third
I've
one?
used one. It's my second.
Oh, okay.
How does this mystery connect to the bigger picture of the sun and the moon just like disappearing?
I will say it all kind of
It's like,
adds up.
how does this creature that's like been feeding off something like feed off of like these like celestial objects that are so far away? Oh,
It's this weird like photosynthesis kind of thing where it just naturally, like, when the sun is in that position in the sky, it kind of, and like you don't notice it throughout the year as much, but it just like it takes in light and it converts it into whatever this matter is that it's made out of. And like as the year goes on, it emanates with this darkness, so it provides like cover from the light within the forest. And that's kind of its stomping grounds, right? So because it was born from the forest, it has that same aspect that the forest has of like blocking out light. But after like 100 years of this cycle happening every single day,
also block the village.
yeah, it has enough to extend that out. And that's kind of like a permanent effect that happens for like the 24 hours of like the sun cycle, where no celestial bodily light can penetrate this area.
Okay.
And like you don't know for sure if that's right, because this is just all in your head.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's gonna leave at all either, or if it's just gonna have like a perpetual veil over the village.
Exactly.
Okay.
But like, and I guess you might start to see now that it's so weakened, like light start to like come in around the town, and like it would be like sunlight as opposed to moonlight now, because it's been so long. That like the effect is starting to wane. So maybe that's what clues you into it. You see, as it's like so damaged, that this effect is weakening.
Yeah,
So
the veil
it's
is cracking around. Okay.
Exactly.
All right.
We are almost at the end. So who would like to act next?
I think I'll just throw a bunch of Molotovs if we have some ready, just
Okay.
to finish it off. If no one wants to
Yes,
do
that's true. You
anything.
two were preparing Molotovs. I'll say, what are you thinking, Alexi?
It's more, what does Peter think?
Yeah. I'll yell. I'll be like, oh.
Yeah.
Because they are about to throw fire like right
I'll,
at you. Pretty much.
Yeah, I'll even reinforce your idea, P.I. Gore. I'll, in my like weird voice, you hear me say like, "Fire! I need fire!"
It's coming right up. Yeah, so I'll just chuck a bunch.
Okay, that'll be. I think that'll
I don't know
be.
how many you had. How many we had? I'll just start.
So
The
you both
last
have
one.
two, maybe prepared.
The last one, I'll use another bullet.
I'm gonna make this a help out roll. For one of you, and a kick some ass for the other?
I'm bad at both. Um,
Yeah, so we'll
um,
start with you.
so
PI4.
I'd say it'd be help out.
Okay. Plus cool.
Yeah, cause
And
I'm just trying
it
to
has
burn
+1.
it some more, to help you finish it
And yeah,
off.
that'll give you a plus one.
Cool. Cool. Ooh, that's double sixes, but I get a
Let's go.
-1, so it's 11.
Okay. Fire, like maybe on you if you don't mind.
Oh yeah. I fucking get ignited. It's fine.
You're ignited.
That's what I want.
It's ignited. The sacks are like bursting. It's making like this fucking panicked noise. Sheeran, you have your turn now to throw these things.
Yeah, I am throwing them at them too.
I'll say you can also do help out
Who's
if you
Adam
wish,
too?
or you want to do a kick some ass.
Help out? Kick some ass is better for me than help out. So, just for the sake of the rule.
You get a +1.
Alright, I got. Oh, true! Okay, 9 plus 1, 10 plus 3, 13.
13.
Ooh.
What do you want to do? Give +1 to Alexi. Do +1 damage to the monster. Take 1 less harm, or force them where you want them.
Plus 1 more damage to the monster, but in the sense of maybe the monster takes the full blown of the cocktail. So then it doesn't harm us much on Alexi. Hopefully.
Harm me, baby.
Half of this thing's body is just gone. It is just like an arm holding up the rest of itself, and like a bit of what it would kind of be a face, and it's all on fire, and like a little bit of your sword is like sticking out now that its body has been blasted out. We'll say like the hilt is sticking out. Go ahead, Alexi.
Yeah.
You are on fire. You are the fire. The cleansing.
Yes. I freaking grab it in a big hug, kind of squeeze it tight. I'm blitzing on fire, and I'll go full furry mode over here.
You do take 2 damage from the fire that's on you. Sorry.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool. Is that 3 damage reduced to 2?
Just 2 damage.
All right, so that's 1 damage, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, full furry mode, and I go, "Ow!" Fucking just howl at the sky while I'm on fire, and I would like to use magic.
Ooh.
So when I use magical energy or use a magic artifact,
Yes.
which is the sword,
Of course.
I can choose one of the effects based on my roll. PI Gore is helping me, so do I get a bonus?
You get a
that?
+1. Yeah.
+1.
Yeah, the +1s don't stack. Oh yeah, no, you didn't help out. You did the +1.
No.
I just
Good
damage.
What the hell?
Nice.
Come on! Well, I'm gonna use a luck because I rolled Snake Eyes again.
Oh my
Put
god!
those dice in
I
jail.
don't even need dice
Like
for this game, apparently. I'm gonna
Okay,
use my luck.
You must be like 1 away from doomed.
I'm
So
2 away.
close.
I'm 2 away.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so freaking close.
welcome to the club, brother.
Yeah.
Hey.
Okay, choose your effect.
And I choose to, I believe it was, where was it? Inflict harm. So from the inside, as I'm howling, as I'm on fire, the flame of the sword begins to like swell from inside the creature, to deal damage from the inside.
You're giving it this bear hug, and you feel like the fire from it and the fire from you all enveloping you, and you're taking this damage. You take another 2 damage from all this, or another 1 damage, and you feel the heat, and then you feel the warmth, and then you don't feel pain anymore, but you feel like something enveloping you, and it smells a little dusty. The hold that it has on you is a little weak, but it feels familiar, and it feels like it is channeling something through you, so that like you are now in this moment the conduit for this magical holy energy, and so it cannot hurt you. And yeah, maybe you just hear that little
I'm gonna whip out my camera.
yeah, this is like, and it's like popping, and like it's like fireworks almost when you're like watching it from far, like this fire just igniting everything, and those whatever that stuff is exploding, and his fur just like his fur just being enveloped by this fire all around him, and it's just this silhouette of this man holding something, and it's like the wind is like moving around him in a weird way, where it's almost like there's a pair of arms around his body. And then the fire dies down, and you're left with nothing in front of you, because at its core, this thing was just really something born of the absence of light. And with this inward and outward source of pure, holy fire and light, this thing could do nothing but be diminished and reduced to ashes, and then those ashes just disappear, and the flames die down. And the sun shines upon the city of Sunfall, and the doors of the city open, and people peer their heads out, still extremely afraid of what might be out there, but with this strange, like, is it over sense? And there's this gasp of like, from the old man, as not only the darkness within him, but the life inside of him that had been kept alive past his lifetime escapes out of him, and he peacefully drops to the floor. And due to time, we will just end right there. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching, for playing. I hope you had fun. So many luck points used. This is literally what I wanted.
So many.
Off camera, I'm like, I hope you guys roll a lot of bad rolls. So you need to use up all your luck.
So many bad rolls.
So many.
Yeah. Sheeran's got a portal. His identity has been discovered by Mervin.
Dun, dun, dun.
There's some connection there as well with P.I. Gore, and perhaps Alexi's got some closure in a weird way that he did not have before.
Yeah.
Damn.
Thank you for watching again. We'll be back on Tuesday with Agaleron.
Yeah.
I
just want to keep talking about the ending.
Until then, follow us on Threads, on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok.
And don't forget
Twitch.
your mom's house.
Don't forget your mom's house. And until then, we are Hexagon. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks so much for watching. It's transitioning. Just give it a second. God damn.